Hi, I'm Jesse. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to solve the most basic type of algebra equation, the linear equation. This is going to be the first video in a 3-part series, so make sure to stick around if you want to see the rest of those. Okay, now before we get started with solving our equation, we're going to need to learn a few rules. Number 1. Letters represent numbers. The way you solve any equation is by finding what number is represented by the letters. If there's just one letter, then you find just one number. If there's two separate letters, find two numbers. In the equation we're going to be looking at today, there will only be one type of letter. 2. You can move terms to the other side of the equation, but you must change the sign. Term is just a fancy way of saying number. So for example, the letter X could be a term, because letters represent numbers, remember from the first rule. This means, say we were to have the equation 2x equals 4x minus 8. Then we could move the 4x to the other side of the equals sign. However, we need to change it from plus 4x, as there's an invisible plus sign here, to minus 4x. 3. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side. For example, let's say we have minus 1 equals minus x. We want to find what x equals, not minus x, so we can multiply minus x by minus 1 to get x. However, we need to do the exact same thing to the other side of the equation, so we need to multiply that by minus 1 as well, which gives us positive 1. Now we've got these 3 rules to guide us, let's dive into our problem. Here we have the equation, a equals 3a minus 6. When solving this type of equation, our goal is to get all of the number terms on one side and the letter terms on another side. A number term is any term that doesn't have a letter in it, and a letter term is any term that does have a letter in it. So for example, in this equation, minus 6 is a number term because there is no letter attached to this term. This also means that we know the value of this term, it's minus 6. However, 3a is not a number term, it's a letter term. This means that we don't know the value of 3a because a could be any number. Remember, from the first rule, letters represent numbers, but we don't know which number a represents yet, so we don't know what 3 times a would be. That's the goal when solving an equation, find what number the letters represent. Now, if we come back to our equation, we need to pick a side for the letter terms to go on, and a side for the number terms to go on. I'm going to pick the left side for the letter terms, or the unknowns, and the right side for the number terms. However, at the moment, we still have an unknown on the right side, 3a. We want to move this to the left side using rule 2 from before. We know that we can move it to the other side of the equation, but we have to change the sign. Currently, this term is positive 3a. However, if we want to move it to the other side of the equation, we need to change it to negative 3a. Our equation now becomes negative 3a plus positive a equals minus 6. However, we can simplify the left side by doing minus 3a plus a. Minus 3 of something plus 1 of something is going to equal minus 2 of that thing. So, minus 3a plus a equals minus 2a. Now our equation looks even easier to solve. We can see that minus 2a equals minus 6. We need to take a few more steps to finish solving this equation. Now, we're trying to find what a equals, positive a, that is. However, on the left side here, we have negative 2a. Using rule 3, we can change this to a positive number by multiplying both sides by negative 1. Minus 2a times minus 1 is going to be 2a, and minus 6 times minus 1 equals 6. Now, we're almost done. However, we don't want to find what 2a equals, we want to find the value of a. Using rule 3 once again, we can go from 2a to a by dividing both sides by 2. If we divide 2a by 2, we get a, and if we divide 6 by 2, we get 3. This leaves us with a equals 3. Now we have our value for a, our unknown. We have solved our equation. Thanks for watching till the end, and if this helped you out, please like and subscribe as it helps me out a ton.